my pillow. Lay your head on my pillow. Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, oh lay it down. Lay your head on my pillow. Yeah. I, Romeo ain't never been friend. What's up, everybody? I ain't even finna try to do the lyrics. Woo. I hope y'all having a good time out there. How many of y'all ready to lay it down? You know I be feeling my little vibes. Lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, oh lay it down. Lay your head on my pillow. Ooh, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are y'all doing? I am Darius, aka the Velvet Missionary, aka the Velvet, and I am here on the Spill, which is the show where we discuss all things relevant each and every Wednesday, right here on Power Plug Radio. Let me tell you, childrens of the corn, I am happy to be here. I am flying solo dolo tonight, but that's all right because sometimes you have to go if you have to go by yourself. And I don't mind going by myself. So I am here to talk about all the relevant things that are going on out here in the world. First and always, I have to give a shout out to Power Plug Radio. That's the platform upon which I do this show, and I have to show mad love and appreciation to Power Plug Radio. Power Plug Radio is a Black-owned internet-based radio station. We are the home of your throwback jams. We have this show. We have other shows such as the Man Cave, Bits of Tea. Um, we had a morning show. I think that's coming back. We got we got a trap show. We have an app on the Google Play Store, the Alexa. Let's see, Apple. You can listen to our music in our shows anytime. Log in, get your good morning feel all throughout the day. Get your good feel. So I just encourage y'all to go on download Power Plug Radio. I also have to give shout outs to our other sponsor, Urban Drinkery. Urban Drinkery is a specialty drinkery right here out of the Tampa Bay area. And if you have not heard of Urban Drinkery, I invite you to please try it. If it doesn't matter if you don't live here in this area, you can go on, you can order it. We can send it to you. If you're close by, I don't mind bringing it to you. So y'all make sure you check out Urban Drinkery. All right. And I want to thank everyone who supports me in this platform each and every week, giving a shout out to my brothers, London, Dupree, giving a shout out to my brother Tron, who is not here with me tonight. They're doing other things, but like I said, it doesn't matter. The show must go on. So I hope that you all are doing well out there. Hold on, I'm just doing a little sharing real quick because I know that I was always taught that sharing is caring. It depends on what you're sharing, though. Let me put a special emphasis on that. It depends on what you are sharing. So make sure that you share good things and not bad things. Don't share things that are ill spoken of, but share the good things. And while we're talking about sharing, I want to talk about monkeypox. There's a lot of talk about monkeypox going on out here in these streets. You see the news reports. Um, it's making a lot of people nervous. Monkeypox is being characterized as a gay disease, as something that gay men catch. I want to be clear about this. Anybody can catch monkeypox, whether you're gay, bisexual, whether you're a cisgendered woman. Um, you are subject to um, catching monkeypox if you are in a at-risk situation. Now, let's talk a little bit about how monkeypox is spread because we know that there's a lot of misconception out there. There's a lot of stigma, and a lot of people just don't know. They're just wrong. So monkeypox can be spread to anyone through close, personal, often skin-to-skin contact. which may include direct contact with monkeypox rashes, scabs, or body fluids from a person with monkeypox. So that's pretty much touching. If you touch an area of somebody's body where there's a rash, a scalp, or some kind of bodily fluid, um, we believe that this is currently the most common way that monkeypox is spread in the USA. It is possible to acquire it through touching objects, fabric, if you're sleeping on the same sheets, using the same bedding or towels, wearing the same clothes as someone who may have it, touching surfaces that have been touched by someone with monkeypox, contact with respiratory secretions. Um, this thing, this contact can happen during intimate contact. Y'all know what intimate is, right? Intimate is when the people are communing, not with him, but with each other. All right. So, um, o- oral, anal, vaginal sex, or touching the genitals of a person with monkeypox, it is possible to pass that way. Hugging, massages, or kissing. Oh Lord, you can't touch nobody. Good God Almighty. Lord, it make you not. It's make you almost not want to touch yourself. Lord Jesus. All right. Yes, yes. I am on now. Yes, yes. Hold on. Let me send this invite to someone who is asking, am I on? Yes, the velvet is on. Let me share it right now because the velvet is on. Yes, yes, the velvet is on. So let me let the childrens know. All the childrens of the corn, come on. Let me send them, invite them into the room real quick and let them know that the velvet is on. The velvet is here. I am here to minister. All right, hold on. Let me invite the childrens in. Come on in, 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 come on into the room. All right, and catch this tea. Hold on, I'm sending, I'm sending, I'm sending, I'm sending to a few people. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, okay. Let's see what the children act. Okay. What's up, Sean? One of my favorite absolute persons that I love to talk to. Yeah, so I'm flying solo tonight, Sean, but sometimes you have to go if you have to go by yourself. So I am by myself tonight. I was actually talking about monkeypox, because we know, as I said before just a minute ago, there's a lot of misconceptions about monkeypox. And I want it to be clear. I think it's something that, yes, the children of the corn. What's up, CCNTV? Thank you for hopping on. We want to be clear about the different ways that monkeypox can be spread. And I want to say, first and foremost, it is being characterized as a gay disease. That's not true. It's not a gay disease. It is possible to be passed through sexual contact. I believe the reason why it is being characterized as a gay disease is because most of the cases that have been identified have been by gay or same gender loving men. So if the abundance of the cases and the contacts that have been associated with those cases have been male to male, there have been some situations where these people are meeting through anonymous sex. They're meeting like in places, campgrounds, bath houses. They're probably meeting off the apps. So I just want to make sure. Oh Lord, school the children. Yes, we got a school. I thought you were saying that it was monkeypox at the school. I was about to ask you which school, Sean. But yes, we have to talk about these things because it unfairly sometimes characterizes the black same gender loving community. I prefer to say black same gender loving versus gay. To me, gay is a white political term. It does not adequately express our experience. There's so much more to a person who is same gender loving besides who they are sexually attracted to or who they may have sex with. To me, that's just a very small part of who we are. But that's the part that oftentimes gets emphasized. Ain't that right, Cruella girl? Yes, yeah, I see Cruella back there. That's the part that gets always, that's always emphasized. It's always focused on, like we are nothing but our sexual orientation or who we like to sleep with or what we like to do in between the sheets. We are so much more than that. And so we have to constantly push back against that narrative that is being put on us. But getting back to monkeypox. So I've already said that monkeypox can be spread through to anyone through close personal, often skin to skin contact. We know that's not the only way. So if you're talking about the most common way people are getting it are through skin to skin contact, usually some kind of rash, scab, or bodily fluid from a person who has monkeypox. If you're sleeping on the same sheets as someone that has monkeypox, you can get it. And yes, Sean, yes, we same gender loving people, we're described as hypersexual. Now, some of us do got high libidos, but that don't characterize all of us as a people. You know, um, if you're using the same washcloths and towels, I don't even use the same washcloth to wipe my ass and wash my face. That's just nasty. I ain't even do that as a child. So I can't imagine why people would be sharing the same washcloth, but okay, I stop doing that if you're doing it. Respiratory secretions, obviously, that's some of the same way that people were catching COVID. So respiratory secretions, um, this often happens through intimate contact, oral, anal, or vaginal sex, or touching the genitals of a person with monkeypox. So if you like to suck the ping, if you like to eat the groceries, or if you like to get in the vagina or the bugina, that is a way. Although sexual is not the only way, it is possible if that person has monkeypox. Because if you're having sex with somebody, or you down there praying, or you down there partaking of the communion, that's some pretty close to close skin and bodily contact, don't you think, CCNTV? Yes, yeah, and you said facts, so I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so hugging, massaging, and kissing, it is possible. Obviously, skin to skin contact. Um, Prolonged face to face contact, like, bitch, stay out my face. Don't stay right there. Don't be all in my face like that. Not unless I know you like that. And even if I know you like that, I still got a question. But um, touching fabrics or objects during sex that were used by a person with monkeypox and that have not been disinfected, such as bedding towels and sex toys. Now, I just got through talking to somebody the other day who was using, likes to use sex toys, and I don't believe they're adequately cleaning them. What's up, silent sister? Um, if you're using them sex toys, if you got your little, things that you like to do, and the things of the things in the privacy of your home or wherever you like to get it on at, make sure you are properly sterilizing your sex toys and things like that. Because we know some of us like to do it. Some of us, we don't always got nobody to stimulate our prostate, or you ain't always got something to slide up in when you want to feel the warm feeling. I know, Sean, I was making that same face. So we know some of the kids got sex toys and stuff that they, you know, when ain't nobody there, they can get what they need, you know. So if you're having sex toys, make sure, one, that you're not sharing the same sex toy with somebody else. Like, don't put it in you and then put it in them. That's cross contamination. Don't do that. Make sure they got their own toy. Make sure that you are cleaning these things with, proper, whatever the recommended cleaning um products are. When you buy a sex toy or something like that that you use, and make sure that you know how to sterilize it, how to clean it, all that good stuff, because we want the people to stay safe. Now, I will tell you all, yesterday I got a monkeypox vaccine. I do not have monkeypox. Let me be clear. I do not have monkeypox. I do not have any symptoms. I got it because the guidance from the CDC says um, gay, same gender loving, bisexual men, if you fall within that spectrum, you are considered high risk. And so, as a preventative measure, you should get the monkeypox vaccine. And I just happen to be somewhere every day where um, I may have more access than some other people. But I will tell you all, it is a two-dose shot. You get one dose and you come back 4 weeks later and get the other dose. I will tell you, there is a concern that there's not enough vaccine out there for everyone. But I'm gonna tell you a little secret. If you contact your county health department, ask them. Now, some of the county health departments may be making appointments. If you tell them that you're in an at-risk group, if you're someone that falls in that spectrum, gay, same gender loving, bisexual, lesbian, trans, if you fall in that spectrum, you're considered high risk. If you're someone who is immunocompromised, someone living with HIV or um, or some kind of other immuno um, issue, you may be, and yes, Sean, you may. I actually saw a Facebook post from someone today in Orange County saying that the Orange County Health Department was offering it. You have to call, and they said that you can make an appointment. Now, at my county health department, they are screening people. But like I said, I told the kids, baby, if you come up in there, don't make no appointment. Just go on down to immunizations. Tell them, children, that if they ask you was you exposed, you say yes. In the last 2 days, I'm in a high risk category. If you say if you're a gay, if you identify as a gay or same gender loving or bisexual, lesbian or trans, if you're somebody that has a lot of sexual partners, even if you're a straight person or a cisgender person, um, you're somebody that considers yourself high risk, baby, go on down there and say, and they ask you was you exposed, say potentially yes in the last 2 days. Because with the guidance, they need to treat you within 2 days of exposure. But Sean, I did hear Orange County Health Department was scheduling people. I saw the matter of fact, I'm gonna forward you that post when I'll go back and find it. Um, and this is a preventative measure. It's not to say, and I know some of us right here really ain't touching people like that, you know. But it is, if you are someone, and you have to assess your own risk. If you feel like you're at risk, and it's real, y'all. I got a call from a friend of mine yesterday who had been on a trip. He had went on a cruise or a trip with some friends. Now, two of the people he went on the trip with have monkeypox. So my friend was worried because he was on that same trip with them and he was with them the whole time. Now I don't know what was going on the trip. I ain't speaking or speculating to that because I don't know that. But two people in his traveling circle, came down with monkeypox. So that was concerning to him as it would be to me, I'm sure, and to anyone else. So he was looking for, he was looking to find out how he could get, you know, um, treated or get a vaccine. Um, Definitely, if you notice someone, and pay attention to people's bodies. If you're laying up, if you spend the time with somebody, and you finna go there, baby, start looking at their skin, look at their arms, look at their legs, look all down in their privacies. If you trying to go in between their silky space, baby, spread the cheeks and look good. Look everywhere you want to go. If you thinking about praying, baby, examine what they call it, the mourner's bench. Examine that bench, baby, before you get on bended knee. Okay, we got to start looking. We can't be so bothered and so quick to go for the gusto. That's right, Sean. Turn on all the lights. That's right. Don't turn off the lights with nobody you ain't seen in the light, baby. You better look everywhere. And honestly, you should not be offended if they want to do the same with you. You know, if you want to see what I got, baby, if you got any concerns, hey, I like that because oftentimes when it comes to sex in particular, a lot of times there's no conversation, there's no negotiation on sex, and so we have to learn to. Sean, I don't know what that's. What, oh, is that a mic? I don't know, a bulb. I don't know what that is. Oh, the lights. That's the lights. That's the light bulbs. Okay, we have to learn how to, as adults, we have to learn how to not make sex seem taboo because we all like to have sex. You know, we all, if we didn't like to do it, oh, that's a magnifying glass. Oh yeah, get all up in there. If we didn't like to do it, we wouldn't be doing it. So it's just adult and grown of us, grown men and women, to have those kind of conversations, and having sex should not be a taboo conversation it should be taboo to a grown person to have a conversation about that. Um, So that's my word for the day. Make sure you can educate yourself on monkeypox. You can go to Google. You can go to the CDC website, CDC.gov. Um, they have a lot of information. There are fact sheets on the Center for Disease Control's website. Um, there's just a lot of information out there. So I just think we need to educate ourselves, educate your friends, family members, especially those friends and those Judies that you know out there tipping and dipping. You know they meet a date on Jack every other night. Maybe you know they like to go to the bathhouse. Maybe you know they like to do some things, and some of y'all may know because you might be doing it with them. Let's just keep it real. You know, we ain't all been saved and sanctified our whole lives. We all come from something, and some of us still, we still working our way through some stuff. Through the grace of God. But it's just time to look out for ourselves, and to look out for one another. So that is the health. That's the word for tonight. Starting the show out, I really wanted to talk about monkeypox because when we hear about it, it's such a negative connotation. It's about people catching it, and we as same gender loving people know that we're not the only people. Anybody is subject to catching monkeypox, and we need to understand the facts behind it. And like Sean said, be responsible. We have to be responsible. We have to be responsible in all things, because the more and more I live, I'm in my 40s now, and I truly understand that there is a consequence for every action. You know, for every consequence, there's an action, and then there's a reaction. So we want to live well, um, and we want to fulfill our destinies. We want to live um, prosperous lives, because I truly believe no matter what your faith, um, he knows the plans that he has for you. And I try to remember that myself all the time. He knows the plans concerning Darius. Now you may not know the plans, and sometimes Darius don't know the plan. Sometimes I'm a little vague at times, but he knows the plans he has concerning me. It just says he knows the plans that he has concerning Sean and Silent Sister and CCNTV. He knows the plans. So, we have to make sure we're doing our part so that we can fulfill our destinies. Now, let's get on with the show. I had a few things I want to talk about real quick. We don't talked about the monkeypox. And thank you all for interacting with me in the comment section. I really, really, really appreciate it. Um, Today, this was breaking news not too a couple hours ago. The Biden administration. That's right, Sean. Jeremiah 29:11. The Biden administration has made an offer to Russia to trade Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, who are both being held in Russia on charges and have been found guilty of charges in Russia. They've offered to exchange Victor Bout, who is a arms dealer who has been convicted, who is on a and was serving a 25-year sentence here in the United States. The Biden administration has offered to exchange him for Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan. Sources have reported that President Biden is backing this swap. This is contrary to what the Department of Justice's policy or prisoner trades. Normally, we do not believe, this country does not believe in prisoner swaps. Um, this country usually does not typically um, um, submit to extortions. Um, so the Secretary of State Tony Blinken, Anthony Blinken, previously said that this proposal had been submitted weeks ago for their release. Now, I want to see Brittany and I want to see this other guy come home. And this should be a lesson. Why is it that Brittany Griner, who was a WNBA player, why is it that she had to go over to Russia to play basketball in the first place? Because the WNBA is not equitable for women. Their pay is not equitable to men in the NBA. So this is an issue of inequity too. Because if they were equitable, our players would not have to go overseas to make money. Um, I do feel like if you're gonna go overseas, you definitely need to know the laws of where you are going. This was not Brittany's first trip to Russia, and I'm not placing any fault on her. What I never understood in the beginning if she presumably had played ball there before, that she would, be somewhat aware, or someone would have made her aware of the laws of because these countries like Russia are not like us. They really do not play when it comes to the laws. Here in this country, we take for granted we can cuss out the police, we can do all kind of stuff. Over there, them bitches don't play over there. So I don't know how it is that, and this is just my personal thoughts. If she has been to Russia before, and we know she's played ball in Russia before, she was well beloved by a lot of Russian people. Why she didn't know what the rules of what she could and couldn't bring into the country. Now, we do know she did accept a guilty plea. I do believe, honestly, she didn't have good representation, and she may not have understood documents and things that she was signing. She was basically confessing, giving a confession. And because with this whole war situation between Ukraine and Russia, and the U.S. backing Ukraine, with resources, money, weapons, um, it has put Brittany Griner and other Americans who travel abroad in peril. So I say, if you travel abroad as an American, you have to be very careful. You have to know the laws where you are going, and you have to be careful. You can't go over to these people countries talking to them crazy and doing all kind of stuff, because you are on foreign soil. And once they know you're an American, and they can spot an American a mile away, they know us. When we go to other countries, they can tell. Let me tell you, when I went to the Virgin Islands and I went to the Bahamas, they be waiting on you, baby, when you get off. They be waiting because they know they can look at you and they can tell you're an American, because we don't even look like the people that live there. So if they get Brittany home and this other man, Paul, Wheeling, whatever his name is, don't y'all take y'all asses back over there no more. Like Silent Sister said, you got to walk a fine line. Don't take y'all asses back over there no more. Because Brittany, once we get you home, if you take your ass back over there again, now Brittany, you on your own. Until the WNBA can get you some more money, baby, you but take what you can get everything you can get, but don't take your ass back over there no more. Now, this need to be Americans really need to start paying attention to the political climate, what is going on, on the international scene. These countries that some of us like to go to, where they really don't like us like that, they really don't like the United States. We got to be careful, because once they know your ass is an American, baby, So just be careful. We got to be careful. But I do hope that they get them back. I am concerned about this weapon arms dealer, who they said, he sold weapons to the Taliban, to other terrorist groups. Um, I know there are people out there that are gonna feel like this is not a fair exchange, but I do hope we get Brittany, and the gentleman home. So I want to move to another story that I saw, and this story is so common, but it just seems to always happen when it involves our law enforcement. I saw a story out of Cincinnati where a police officer, a white woman, called a young black teen the N word in a traffic tantrum. And she is now presently still working as a police officer on desk duty while there's an investigation going on. So, this Cincinnati police officer, who has a criminal history, was demoted to desk duty after she spewed the N word when describing a black high school student. Now, Sister Girl was in her squad car. The officer's name was Rose Valentino. Not Rose Nyland, but Rose Valentino. She was caught on body camera footage using the racial slur, according to an internal probe on this matter. Uh, the specific quote that she said was "fucking nigger, I fucking hate them." Now, this bitch was so dumb. She knew she was wearing a body cam, and she said that anyway. So what this really tells me is she really didn't care whether anybody heard her say it or not, or that she was being recorded. You know. So she used this slur to refer to the teenage boy who was not doing anything except walking by the cruiser. He wasn't committing a crime. He wasn't causing a disturbance. All he was doing was walking by. Now, Valentino, this is the name of the officer. She has denied having any racial biases that have affected her work. How can you not? How can you say that you don't have racial biases? Well, here you are sitting in your squad car, and you make a comment like that about a young black man, but you say that you don't have any biases. The fuck she said. I'm like my brother Demario Jives. Why you always lying? This hoe was lying. Okay, so the NWC, and I did mention earlier that this lady has a history of charges. She has a assault charges um, for jumping on her sister, and this bitch still is working as a police officer. Now she's under investigation right now. The NAACP of that city of Cincinnati issued a statement saying that this officer does not deserve the privilege of serving the citizens of Cincinnati. Her true bias has been exposed, and she should not be a police officer. So I want to hear from you all. What do you all think about this situation? Should this clear heifer be a police officer when she has clearly shown bias against black people? What y'all think? I'm with you, Silent Sister. This is really how she really feels. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times you can't fire people or get rid of people for how they really feel, but you can get them in how they perform their duties. And you cannot say that you are an unbiased civil servant and you made a comment like that. That's right, CCNTV. Cancel her motherfucking ass. Now I added motherfucking. He didn't say that. Cancel that ass. Fire that bitch. Fire that clear bitch. Get her out of here. She is the weakest link, Sean. She needs to go. And they need to expeditiously fire her. And the fact that this bitch can still sit there and get paid off of public salary dollars. Because guess what? We pay taxes that pay their salaries. It is a disgrace. And I hope that this bitch gets her ass booted off the force. And I hope she is never allowed to be a law enforcement officer anywhere else in the whole entire world. She absolutely needs to go. And I think that the people in Cincinnati, they need to stay on that. They need to stay on that, and they need to demand that this lady be fired. Yes. So one more story, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. It's a short show tonight. Actually, I got maybe one, two more. So I saw a story with an Instagram model. Now this one kind of deals with the subject of HIV. Oftentimes when you talk about HIV, it's usually men to men, sexual contact. We know that there are women that are living with HIV that have been exposed to HIV. But oftentimes we know that there are a greater number of men than women who actually have acquired HIV. So there was a story about this Instagram model. Her name is, hold on, I got the name, Gina Two. I'm Tao. I may not be pronouncing the name right. Gina. Her mama named her Gina. I'm gonna call her Gina. So Gina was an Instagram model, and she had previously been linked or known to hang around a lot of celebrities who had died from AIDS. Um, she allegedly um, was living with HIV for almost 8 to 10 years before she found out that she had it. Now she has been tied. Allegedly, she has been known to hang with celebrities like Nick Cannon, Chris Brown, people on that level. Now I don't know. I don't know if she was doing the hoochie coochie or whatever. It kind of suggests maybe, but we don't know that. Um, but it kind of suggests that maybe she was, hanging around some people. Speaking of Chris Brown, did y'all see that story about the crazy girl who I think she was trying to shoot up the airport or somewhere, and well, I want to say, was that LA? Somewhere she was at. The girl was at shooting up the airport. She got mental health issues. This bitch said that she was married to Chris Brown. Chris Brown, I don't know what it is in that music. I don't know if it's in that meat. I don't know what it is you doing that be causing these damn women to spaz out. I kind of want to know Chris, but I don't want to know. I don't want to be crazy. But but Chris, I don't know what you're doing, but you better stop that shit, Chris. Stop that shit, whatever you doing. Okay. I think that somebody, it might have been the same girl, had even had his address and had gave out his address. People come to Chris. It was Dallas. Okay, thank you, Sean. It was Dallas. Come to Chris, talking about your wife. Chris said, "Ain't my wife. I don't know that bitch." So I'm like my brother Demario Jobs again. Why you always lying? Some of these people, they just be lying. But getting back to Gina, Gina says she been hanging out with people like Nick Cannon, Chris Brown, Chief Keef. Um, she told her followers, she went and did she did all this online. She did a reveal that she doesn't know when or how she contracted HIV. She said that once again that her doctor had deduced that she probably had probably had HIV at least 8 to 10 years before she um, became aware. So I was thinking about this story, and so often when you talk about HIV, there's so much stigma behind the subject of HIV. People are afraid of people knowing, thinking they're going to be rejected, their business is going to be spread, they're going to be ridiculed. Um, that it's such a taboo subject, even still in 2022. I personally felt that she was very courageous to tell the story, although I will say I don't know her motivations, all her motivations for making this kind of reveal, particularly with revealing the names of people that she hung out with. Like, I don't know what the intent was of her saying that, she hung out or spent time with Chris Brown or Nick Cannon. I don't know what the intent with that was behind that. I think she could have told her story without necessarily naming names, but maybe I guess because she name dropped, it gave her more validity. And thank you, Silent Sister. I was going to mention that this is a very young lady. She's 25 years old. She weighs 65 pounds. She can't stand. And so what it sounds like is that she had HIV and she um, transitioned to AIDS. And just because you have HIV does not mean that you have AIDS. T- Uh, Typically, by clinical definition, a person that has AIDS is someone who may have a CD4 white count of less than 200. They may have other co-occurring situations. They may have bodily infections, other things going on with their body as a result of the complications of HIV. We know that HIV attacks the immune system. It weakens your ability to fight back. And had she in this is another reason too why we have to encourage our brothers and sisters to get tested regularly. If you have a medical provider, a doctor that you go see, this is why doctors need to be, or at least on an annual basis, running these labs. They should be running just like when somebody goes to get their physical. An HIV test. Um, a HIV test should be a part of that routine, whether you're a man or woman. It should be part of that routine physical. I think that physicians should be doing that routinely. I think a lot of times I worked with someone and she talked about how she went to the doctor. She's an older lady in her 50s. She talked about how when she went to see her doctor never once asked her about her sexual history. Um, that happens oftentimes with women. If they're married, um, a lot of physicians will assume that they're only sexually active with their husband, and so they don't ask questions. So I think that our physicians also have to do a better job of screening and not just assuming just because someone's a wife or a mom or because they may look wholesome that um, they're only engaging with one person, and they may very well be. But what if somebody brought something back to them? The point that I'm trying to make is that we have to normalize screening and testing and conversations surrounding sex, and particularly this subject of HIV. Silent Sister says it was a photo out. She's not name dropping, but she really could though. Yes, I will consent. Yes, there was a photo of her hanging out with some of these celebrities. Um, so I don't know. She doesn't know how she was exposed, but I commend her for having the courage to share her story because that's going to help somebody. It's going to help somebody else, and I do wish the best for her. I hope that she her system stabilizes. Hopefully now she's getting the regimen, the medications that she needs, and that she can make a full turnaround. Um, it's so much stuff out here, y'all. It's so much stuff. I think even growing up, my generation, and I'm not really old. I'm just 40, 41. Um, my generation, it's things out today that the kids today have to worry about that my generation didn't have to. Back in my day, you could still fuck for free. Fuck for free. You didn't have to worry about really catching nothing that you was possible. You knew there was stuff out there, but the likelihood that you probably was gonna come up with something was very slim. You know. Thank you, Silent Sister. Yeah, she did have it for at least 8 to 10 years, and for her to have, it sounds like she transitioned to an AIDS case, and that would have meant that she did have that virus for years. Um, I wonder if she had during that length of time why she never got tested, if it just wasn't on her mind, if she was just scared and never did. Was she seeing a medical provider? Because like I was saying, that should have been part of a screening. That should be a part of a routine screening. I feel like when you get your physical, that should be a part of your screening. Um, but we wish her the best. But I do think it was very courageous of her to share that story, and that's a part of the conversation of to normalize these kind of conversations. We can't continue to allow these kind of topics to be taboo, to be something that we can't talk about. Because guess what? Some of us on here got kids, younger family members, people coming up behind us, and we need to make sure that the generations that coming behind us understand how to protect themselves, understand their value and worth, understand that they don't have to lay down with the first man or first woman that shows them a little bit of attention, and that they can negotiate when they do decide to engage, particularly in sexual behavior, that they have the right and ability to negotiate what that looks like and to know their value. Let me see. Silent Sister says, I bet they thought they were safe because she was young, not realizing that she has been through. Yes, baby, she been through and they been through. And when I say they, I mean more than one. Obviously, at some point she was exposed. It sounded like she hung around celebrities and all kinds of people, and that's probably more than likely how she was exposed. Now, Silent Sister, you mentioned her tattoos. What did they say about her tattoos? I didn't read that about the tattoos. I don't know what they said about her tattoos. Um, but yeah, and I just, it kind of broke my heart because many of you all know this is what I do. I work in public health. I work within the field of HIV, and I got started because in this field because one of my best friends lives with HIV, and I saw him at a very low point in life where he was physically sick, he was depressed, um, he was probably at a point where he was ready to give up, and I've worked in public health. Um, I worked in the hospital setting, so I was familiar, obviously, with HIV and taking care of patients that had HIV. Oh, she had a lot of tattoos. Okay, so it is possible that way too, with a lot of tattoos. If somebody's using dirty, if their equipment is not the tattoo artist, whatever, if their equipment is not clean and sterilized, it's possible it could have been some kind of exposure that way. So but going back to that, to talking about that experience of taking care of patients that were living with HIV, even before I knew that that friend was living with HIV, and to see him at that state that he was in, it did something to me. And I started taking him to his doctor's appointments. That's how I got started working in this particular field. I was taking my friend to his doctor's appointments. And that's how I got into the field. I went to a conference, um, and they were talking about the subject of HIV and black gay men or black same gender loving men, and how we were just being exposed to HIV and how we were basically dying. And I came back from that conference shortly after I got a job working in the field. Um, I did HIV testing, I did case management. I got a job in our state health office working in the state program, all the way to where I am right now, being over a program. Um, that makes the difference in the lives of a lot of people. Um, so when I saw the story about this young lady, it really just it touched me that she had the courage and the fortitude, a lot more courage than some of us who have been living a lot longer, to tell her truth, to stand in her truth, because her truth is going to help somebody else. Her truth may encourage somebody who may be dealing with the same issue or something different, but it may encourage somebody to take action, something that may save their lives. So I don't want to continue to harp on that, but I get passionate about this because this is what I do. But I want to thank you all, everybody who came on tonight. Certainly, I know you could have been anywhere. You could have been on anybody else's platform. You could have been listening. Um, and so I thank you all. I thank you, Sean. I thank you, Silent Sister. I thank you. Um, what's my guy up here? Um, CCN I thank you um, so much for supporting me, for coming on and spending a few minutes with me. I am here each and every Wednesday, unless sometimes life gets in the way. I have a very busy job. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She is on Instagram and she does have a lot of followers. Thank you for that. Life gets in the way sometimes, and I'm kind of a one man show. Um, but thank you guys. I really appreciate your support. Please make sure you join me and my brothers on the Kings and the Court on Friday. King Jibes, the Mario Jibes, London Dupree, um, Jay, Marquise, Ashley, Jazz, New King, um, Captain Christian, New King. Make sure you join us on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Y'all know we're gonna have a good show this week. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna keep it light. We're gonna celebrate each other. We're gonna love on each other. And we're just gonna let the Lord have his way. And we ain't gonna sweat the haters and we ain't gonna sweat the negative stuff. All right. Thank you all for supporting, and I hope you all have a good night. And thank you for supporting Power Plug Radio. And if you would like to leave a little donation on your way out, the offering plate is by the door on your way out. You see the Cash App here if you would like to. It's not required, but it's always appreciated. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a good night.